All right, just admit it. And you've already admitted it. You already know it's true, but you're scared. You're a big old scaredy pants about putting yourself out there. That's what this is really about. It's time for you to be sharing your story. Hi. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you're new here, my name is Miriam. I'm an oracle and intuitive. I speak with guides. I read numbers, blah, blah, blah. I don't do my hair. That being said, you are here because you're supposed to see something out of my face. You're going to hear something out of my face. You're going to get whatever. But there is going to be so many excuses for you not to start this project, which is for you to get your story out there. Whether it be because you have been abused, whether you have been abused or been the abuser. If you're worried about being abused, or if you're worried about being the abuser, or whatever it is, sharing that and sharing your story so that other people like you can find you is the point. Because whether or not you believe it, because some people really believe, like, although you know that you're cool, you are really mean to yourself. You kind of tell yourself things like things to be scared of and things to be worried about, and then that continues to cycle and spiral. Of course, you're afraid to be seen. You're afraid that people are going to decide something about you, but I guarantee they have already decided it about you. It is what it is. It's none of your business what anybody thinks of you. What matters is that you are moving in a way that doesn't cause harm to yourself or to other people. And that means spiritually, that means physically, that means, and really, what have you been doing in your life that has been causing yourself harm? Ways that, like, sometimes we eat junk food, we give into impulses and all of that. And some of us have a harder time not dealing with, not giving into those impulses. It's real hard for me not to go eat sweet stuff. A lot of times, if I don't want to go, if I really want something sweet, I'll just go sleep. Because otherwise, I want to eat sweet stuff so bad. I want to eat something. Give me something sweet. I mean, there's that. There's also other things, like other urges that people just can't seem to control, like the urge to tell yourself that you are a bad person, or that you're not good enough, or that I feel like maybe in the past you've really, like, you feel like you've made decisions that you regret, but you don't feel comfortable forgiving yourself for them. And it's almost like you don't want that to come out. Like, but you're not that person anymore. You're the type you're the type of person who is aware when you have anything going on. Oh, I'm sweating so bad. If it's like, say you're having thoughts about self-harm or thoughts about whatever, and that just keeps ruminating. The way that you have combated it, even if you have still gone on to do the thing. Oh, which one is that? Oh, that's this one. This is a different one. This one, it calls to me when it's called. It's okay to it's totally okay to be afraid. I'm scared all the time. I'm always scared. A lot of really messed up stuff happened to me. Um, and so, of course, I'm scared of a lot of things, of humanity or whatever, but ultimately, I'm scared of myself. I'm scared of my eye because I've been hurt in the past and I've survived and moved on or whatever. But what's scarier to me is becoming that person. Because everybody comes up here and they're like, "Oh, Miriam, you're so sweet, you're so authentic, you're so kind." That comes from work. You don't think that I've been a monster in my life? And not like a, oh, cute, that's a little mean thing. Like, actively a mean person, a hard person. Like, I didn't do the same things that were done to me, but I did utilize the things that were my gifts to, instead of build people up, tear people down. And granted, I was young. But things that, I'm going to tell you a dark story about my life. And so y'all just be prepared. Trigger warning for all whatever. Because when I start talking about my life, it's got all of them. It's got all the things. It's got dry lips too. Okay. So as a child, I was being watched by a babysitter. She was older than me. She was 14. I was about 6. 6 or 7. And she watched me, and she was brutal. And one of the times that we were there, or that I was there, because it was me and some other kids that she would watch. Oh, golly, was she an orchestrator. And recently, their family had gotten a puppy. Cute little mixed puppy. Like little mutt. I don't know what it was, but it was just like a tan puppy. And I'm 6 years old, and I had been essentially living with this family, except for on the weekends, whenever, because my mom was homeless at the time. So, whenever she was off of work is whenever I get to go be with her. She had no idea none of any of this was happening, and so I was heavily abused by this young woman. And so they had gotten a new puppy, and one day the puppy did something. I don't know, use a restroom or something. Puppy maybe bit somebody. I don't know. Very young puppy. And whenever that puppy got hit and it cried, and she asked us to join in on it. For once, I was just happy it wasn't me being beat like that puppy. And I threw a boot. I took a boot. It was her dad's steel toe boot, and I threw it from away from the puppy. But I still hit the puppy. And slowly, I watched that puppy take hits and hits and hits and hits, and then eventually, it did not survive. As a 6-year-old child, I helped beat a puppy to death. Terrible things can happen. Anyone can do it. Even a 6-year-old. And there will be reasons that we justify it, and reasons that we can say that that's why we did it, because, oh, I was abused and I didn't know. But I did know. Even as a 6-year-old, I knew that wasn't okay. But what I also knew after that day is that I had that in me. Something in me that I would have called a monster. And really, all monsters come from somewhere. Every monster was a baby once. Who knows what age that they decided that they were the monster. And the only reason why I don't feel like a monster now is because I've decided that I'm not the monster. There were many years that I was, and that's just something there wasn't a lot of murdering of animals after that, because there was a huge pit in me. Because I didn't realize that it was gonna die, but then it did. And I knew that one of my blows added to that death. Granted, I didn't give the most of the blows or even the last blow, but it was one of them. And when you have to forgive yourself for things that, like hurting something innocent, you can acknowledge your part in it and then move past it. And that goes for the stories that we tell. That goes for the things that we share about ourselves. We are whole beings. We are not just one thing. We are so many things. We make mistakes. We make things happy. We save lives. If we let ourselves. If we let ourselves, we can forgive ourselves. If we share our stories, maybe other people can hear those stories. Because honestly, most of the stories are just about shame. And you've been taught so much to be shamed. You are scared of being shamed more. You are scared what people are going to say. They're going to say weird stuff. It's going to irk you. The comments might be strange sometimes and they're going to have opinions. That's none of your business. Even though it's in your comments, you don't have to read the comments. You can, but it's still none of your business. There are so many things in this world to be afraid of, the dangers of other humans, the everything. It could be anything. It could be the end of anybody's world at any point, and we're always worried about the end of the world. But I promise, everybody's world ends eventually. Everybody dies. That's the one thing that we have in common. And so if we can find a way to make life a little bit more worth living while we're here, I think that you sharing your story is that. I think that's why you see my face. I think that's why I'm here. And I think that's why you keep seeing these numbers. I think it's time for you to be on your journey. Anyway, in the meantime, lovies, keep a lookout for the numbers and stay synchronized.